What's up, guys? This is Retirement Life Chapter 2. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sharon.
And I'm Sean.
And we're with Good Sweet Homes, and we're all about teaching you guys how to build passive income, become financially free, and design your best lives. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified of my latest videos. Make sure to subscribe to Sean's channel as well, where he talks all about real estate investing. Quick recap. So I have been out of a job for about 4 to 5 months now. So I am basically retired from the 9 to 5, not planning to return to a job. How about you?
I recently left my full-time W-2 job about 1 month ago.
And how have you been enjoying it?
It's been amazing. So, one of the main downsides to leaving your full-time job and one of the biggest fears that people have is that you're not going to have that consistent income coming from an employer anymore. Luckily, we were in a position where we set ourselves up to get consistent income from our rental properties and our side businesses. But the pros far outweigh the cons because now we can work on things that we truly enjoy working on and things that really pursue our own businesses instead of working on someone else's stuff. Now, another thing that was interesting was also figuring out insurance because, we have to buy our own insurance now. We can't rely on an employer.
Yeah, one of the things I realized is after speaking with a friend too and kind of doing our own research is that insurance doesn't have to cost as much as you think it does. And it's not a good reason to stay at a job just because you're scared of how much it's going to cost, right? People think it's going to be thousands a month, but from looking it up for us, like we're probably going to spend around $500 to $600 a month for the both of us. So it's not as bad as people think. That's one thing to consider if you're going to try to be like a full-time entrepreneur, you're scared of taking that risk, it's okay. One thing is also it is because we're young and
we don't have
healthy.
A family.
Yeah, we don't have a family right now, but I just don't think it's a good enough reason to be like, I can't be an entrepreneur, right? But also, again, we did set up ourselves to kind of retire like you mentioned. So we aren't just like grinding now. We're kind of in a position where we have passive income from everything that we've spent years building. And it's not just like we're at a whim, like let's just quit our jobs. Like we've been building this up for a long time. And luckily it has surpassed our full-time incomes that we've left, right? So we did like lose that amount from our yearly income, but I think there's just so much room for our businesses if we were to like put a lot of effort into it. But I think our time has been split between like enjoying life and kind of working. So we make sure that, we're doing the stuff that matters to us. And like I mentioned in my last video, I made this whole like 101 goals list. I think I'm at like 95 or so, but it's just helping me make sure I'm living an intentional life. And last time we talked, I was doing like hydroponic gardening and stuff like that. Let's kind of do a screen share again of the bucket list and see where we're at. So you guys might have seen this list before. I added some things, changed some things, and I've highlighted some things as you guys can see. So everything in blue is basically things I can do, and then the orange ones are things that are in progress. So actually this one should be orange now because I have just scheduled some Logic Pro lessons. I will show you guys my equipment later, but this is all about music. Numbers 1 to 5 is like all music goals. Music's a big part of like my life that I have put on the back burner for the longest time because of working on personal finance and teaching you guys all this stuff. So I'm trying to get good at music production. I'm also trying to learn how to DJ well just because I think it's really fun.
Another one of their goals is to have 4 Airbnbs. Right now, like we did buy a property in Central Texas that we thought was going to be an Airbnb. Unfortunately, due to their city ordinances, you can't have another Airbnb within 500 feet of another one. And ours is like right at that very edge, like 483 feet away, there's another Airbnb. We are in the process of buying another property here, and hopefully we're gonna convert that one to an Airbnb and see how that one goes.
This is also another interesting update. So I remember I was in the shower and I realized I wanted to move to Asia for a little bit. So we're thinking about doing Taiwan for 6 months, and we would do this end of 2023. So that's why we're kind of gearing up for this whole thing. Now, if we're gonna do that, we're thinking we should probably Airbnb this place out when that time comes. But in order for us to do that, we'll need those systems in place. We need like the cleaners, we need the property management services and everything like that if we're not going to be local to the property. So that's why having multiple Airbnbs will help us build out that system to be able to rent this Dallas place out while we are in Asia. So I'm really excited for that. This also goes back to this goal, get better at Chinese, and also to do a language immersion program. So maybe that's going to be blue, I guess.
Yeah, because the plan is that we're going to go to Taiwan for 6 months and take a 6-month immersion program to get really good at Chinese. Because we did take classes when we were younger and we do know how to speak it, but I personally can't read, I can't write. And so when I order food at a Chinese restaurant, I just ask them, hey, what's the best dish you guys have?
Yeah, I did Chinese lessons for like 12 years, but I just like didn't practice, so I'm not very good. And also when thinking about our future, when we have a kid, we do want to have that kid know like Mandarin and possibly Cantonese and English. So in order for us to do that, what I've learned from people is you have to speak to the kid in both languages and kind of like force them to speak with you all the time essentially. So that's gonna be difficult, and that's why we need to make this move to like move everything along, right? I feel like a good thing is that we think about these things and then plan ahead. This has been very helpful, like writing this doc, because it lets me think like 5 steps ahead if I, preparing for a kid and all this other stuff. So let's keep moving on this list. So there's a lot of ones that I haven't highlighted a different color because I know that I'm not gonna be there yet.
You're not prepared to touch any of these things at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not prepared. There's like, like buying a laundromat and all this stuff. Like, I just don't think it's the right time. So it's just a timing thing. I don't need to be rushing all these items. This one is probably orange too, though. This is the content creation system that we have been working on this for like the whole year, right? We have been hiring the right people, getting like project management software, like just like Notion and ClickUp and stuff, so that we have editors going in and editing our files and moving it along, like each project along. So then everything's systemized and we don't have to always be doing it ourselves. So that's been making our process a lot easier. We've also been working on a course, and we're actually flying to Vegas in like a few days to work on it.
So the course is meant to help other content creators fully systemize their process so that they don't have to go through all the same headaches that we had to go through just trying to figure everything out. Like, when you're first getting started, you might be writing notes on an actual notepad, but then that notepad gets lost, or you can't read your handwriting a few weeks later. So then you move to something better like Google Docs. And then you realize that when you have so many ideas, that things on Google Docs get really crazy. So now we move it to something like Notion or ClickUp. So everything's more organized and structured. People can go inside, know exactly what needs to be done, and you can have a nice flow for your entire system.
Okay, but let's finish up this list. So one other thing was to get good at fishing and fish more. So the other day, I actually asked my friend to take us fishing, and we caught a catfish. Here's some footage over here. So fishing was interesting, and I hope to get better at it. And like, there's actually a lot like to it. I thought it was just you sit and wait, but there's like many different styles of fishing. There's like different types of fish that only come out in certain seasons and like hide in certain areas. And like there's different types of bait for each one, different types of hooks for each one. So it's actually very complicated, and I want to study more of it because it's actually been really fun to catch and grow my own food. So I do want to like do that more. Actually, going down here on the health section is kind of like other goals that I have to be healthier. We've been cooking so much now. Like, we just never used to cook, basically. Like, we hadn't cooked for months, right? And then we finally started growing hydroponic veggies, which I will show you guys later. But that's been like making us kind of cook more, because I'm like, okay, these are ready to harvest, so let's like go buy the things so that we can like make dishes. All right, I just want to show you guys what else I've been up to kind of work on my goals. So this room is a little purple because of my plants. If you guys can see here are my beautiful plants. I have 4 systems now. So this one's growing bok choy. All you gotta do is really put it up to 4 liters, and that's all you gotta do for taking care of it. You just put water in it, sometimes some nutrients, and I have like kale here, some lettuce. Some of it's growing a little weird like this, but I'm gonna have to like replace some of these. Mainly bok choy is like tatsoi, different types of lettuce. And what I do is like I'll make noodle soups with the bok choy, and then I'll also put lettuce in like smoothies. And then for the lettuce, I have another dish, like a Chinese style lettuce dish that I make. So I've just been cooking these a lot, and it's just so nice because you can harvest it every like few days. It grows back really fast. Also my DJ equipment, let's go. I'm not gonna do anything right now because copyright issues. I'm not gonna play any of these songs, but I've been learning how to, do the right transitions. Even tried to stream it one time with Sean so that I could practice performing. I bought a Udemy course too so that I could like get better at this. And I'm taking lessons for Logic Pro. I'll show you guys what that looks like here. For DJing, I use Pioneer, this Pioneer DJ mixer. And then for the software, I use Rekordbox. This is what Logic Pro looks like. So I am learning how to get better at like the technical side of Logic Pro, because I can kind of produce, like I've made some tracks before, but I'm trying to get better. So I'm actually taking one-on-one lessons with someone, actually going to their place, working in their studio. So hopefully I get better at it. Another thing is our fishing rods. These are like really cheap rods, but it's just amazing how it's free. So we could just go to a park and like fish. We got our licenses recently. So all you gotta do is take these babies out and get bait and hooks. Got the weight and the swivel. Our friend taught us some advanced techniques so that we could do this. So just trying to get better at this.
Another thing we've been doing is playing the Oculus while being on this nice massage chair. This is one of Sharon's new purchases for like $200 or something like that.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
Yeah, and the Oculus again is great too. You have to get this extra headband though, because the one that comes with default doesn't really secure your head really well, but this one right here makes it really comfortable and it stays secure super well. And then of course you just play the games.
And alongside that, I wanted to cook 20 healthy dishes. It's kind of like sad because 20 for my whole life. You know, it's kind of a low goal, but like I'm at like 10. What do you think? Is it a low goal?
No, I think it's fine because I think most people rotate amongst their 5 most common dishes. Like my mom had 3, you know, I grew up eating the same 3 dishes for my whole life.
Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the progress because like 10 dishes is pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm like not really knowing much.
And they all taste pretty good too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then 57 to 59, we've been doing this every day. We're at day 23, I think, right now. So we've been meditating, journaling, and exercising every day. I would say like I'm definitely journaling every day. I feel like I'm kind of like semi-exercising and I'm meditating. I think exercising is probably like I need to step it up a little bit more.
Yeah, because we do use Headspace, so it's a legit meditation session. But your workout sessions, like you wouldn't go to the gym with me, you would do like 10 jumping jacks and stuff.
Okay, not 10, like 50, okay. But like, yeah, and like some push-ups. So it's kind of weak, so maybe I need to step that up, but technically I still count it as I'm in progress. I am in progress on all these 3 things. Let's get off this list right now. Okay, so other things we've been up to aside from this list is, well, we would play like 3 to 4 hours of video games every day for like months. And this month we decided to stop for at least a month and see how that goes because it's a lot of time that we've been putting into it.
Yeah, so I mean last Friday it was just raining, pouring hard, and we just didn't want to do any work. So we just spent the whole day watching TV and playing video games. And after that day, we just felt really bad about ourselves. So I proposed, let's uninstall it right now and see how it goes for 1 month. And again, we're not taking away all of our video games. We still do enjoy our lives and watch TV, but we're talking about the games that have no end to it. The online games that you just play round after round after round. It's like, what's the point, right? Let's take a break, get our stuff done, and then maybe we can get back into it later.
Yeah, I just want to see how it goes and if I want to like limit it or something in the future. Just because like I'm still happy with it. Like I'm not against it, but I think that there is a lot of stuff that we could be doing like on this list or on our like work goals if we really wanted to. So we are stopping for a month and seeing how that goes. We're also going to do a shuffling class. So that's on his list.
I've always wanted to learn how to shuffle because I love the music, but I could never dance to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going back to the video game part. For me, it always felt like we have this unique opportunity where we don't have crazy dependence. We are financially free. We can do whatever we want. Isn't it a shame to spend that time just playing the same game over and over again? We could take that time and do these things, right? Learn how to DJ, learn how to shuffle, read a cool book, or read something like that, right?
Sure.
Go out fishing. So I feel like these are better experiences and better time uses than just playing the same game over and over again.
Yep, so we're doing a 3-hour class like this weekend. So
3-hour shuffling class. That's how it goes.
Yep. How many items are on your list now? You need
Much
to
less
step
than
it
you.
up. You have like 10 to 20 or something. It's so helpful. I think it's really helpful. Another thing I did that I'm really proud of is speaking at Adobe Max. And I didn't realize how big of a deal Adobe Max was because I just thought, okay, I'm scared. I was scared. It is a big deal, but I didn't realize how big of a deal it was because when we went to the keynote, it was literally like a packed concert. Like it was terrifying.
With like 6,000 to 7,000 people.
Yeah.
Completely packed.
Yeah, it was like Kevin Hart, Steve Aoki, and I actually had a friend who worked at Adobe or works at Adobe, and she was like, dude, this is like the thing that they look forward to every single year. They work up to this one event every single year. So I was like terrified, but when I went to some of the seminars, it was pretty chill. Like people were demoing the software and just kind of like relaxed when they talked about it. So it made me more at ease, and I was practicing like crazy. I checked out the place that I was speaking at, but yeah, I eventually spoke, and I think I did a good job.
Yeah.
Like I was really scared of tripping over words because that's something I do all the time, but I think I practiced it enough that it was good. But it was like a packed crowd in a theater with like maybe 200 people or more, and then there was like a line of people afterwards talking to me, asking me questions, and it was pretty cool. It was a good feeling when I saw like tweets and like stories telling the takeaways of my talks. So I had the virtual talk and the in-person talk. To me, it was like a huge step for my personal development just because like I am so deathly afraid of public speaking, but now I'm just like forcing myself to do more of these things. And it's not as bad as I thought, I think. It's still scary, but it's not as bad. So I'm gonna keep trying to do more of that. It's not on my like goals list because I don't want to force myself to be like, oh, I need to be a TEDx speaker or like some keynote speaker or something. I think honestly though, that Adobe Max thing was like kind of a check off a list in a way. I didn't put it there, but maybe I should just put it there to strike it off. So I'm pretty proud of myself. So yeah, moving forward, what's gonna be happening before my chapter 3?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of work that we need to do. So we are planning on launching a couple of courses that we think will really help our audience base. Like we do polls all the time on our social media asking them what they actually want. So we're creating things for them to solve their unique problems. Also on the back end, we think that we should do better with our funnels system. Right now our system isn't quite there yet, but if we can do better on the funnels, then we'll be better with that social media business.
One of the things we're working on is like how to prepare for buying your first home, because a lot of the struggles people had was like saving and building their credit score. So we're excited about launching that. And then also the social media systems course, I'm excited for that as well. There's just a lot of like struggles people have that we need to start making more of those products around. And just the more we put out there, the more proud I am, like the happier I am. So I'm really excited for that. We've also been kind of ramping up our marketing and like building out our email funnels. So I think I talked about this last time, but we have built like a master class, like kind of a free webinar type of thing, and then email funnels. We're growing our email list so we can like speak with our audience through a platform that we actually own, right? We don't own social media, we don't own TikTok, Instagram, whatever, but now we have another means of creating value and communicating with our audience. So I'm really excited for that. It is actually on my bucket list to like create a strong email system, as you can see here, but I don't think it's like fully strong yet. I think there's like a lot we're still learning, but we're definitely on the way for this, so I'm excited.
Yeah, we have a baby version right now that has all the basics, but we definitely go in there, optimize titles, make sure that's good open rate, good click-through rates, and of course, most importantly, have the best lead generator to get the emails in the first place.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoy this episode on Retirement Life Chapter 2. We're gonna do a Chapter 3 later on. Hopefully we have really exciting updates for you guys. Let us know in the comments below which goal resonated with you guys. Subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when my latest videos. Make sure to subscribe to Sean's channel as well, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you.